Okay, I'll try this again. My camera fell. I'm using my cell phone because I can upload it to CapCut. I can upload it a lot faster on my cell phone than I can my laptop, because my laptop's like 10 years old and this cell phone is like 4 or 5 months old. Anyways, it is Wednesday evening, 5 o'clock ish, something like that, over here in Cambodia. And hello, Live Rich Cambodia and Live Poor USA. Okay, that's just the way it is. Okay, you guys, well, a lot of you don't have a choice anymore. You've waited too long, and the longer you wait, the less options you will have. Okay, I made a decision 5 years ago to come over here because I saw what was coming. Okay, I just saw what was coming. I researched a lot of stuff. I saw what was coming. I didn't know about all the Middle East stuff and all the rest of it. But anyways, I saw what was coming. So anyway, I made the decision to move over here 5 years ago. 4.5 years ago, sold everything, moved over here. And now I just watch from a distance. I just watch from a distance, okay? And try to help you guys make different choices in your life. It's up to you. Like I said, it's your life. You make the decisions you want to make. I'm not making them for you, okay? I see so many people struggling, okay? I see them struggling every single day, paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, going in the grocery store, not having enough money, having to either use their credit card or leave stuff behind, or just check prices on everything, because everything now is so expensive. And I've talked to several people on Telegram. My email is in the description box. If you want to email me, and we email a few times and I get to see who you are, I will give you my Telegram number. I will not put it on YouTube, because that would be like one of the dumbest things you could ever do. Okay, people would be calling me all the time with all kind of stupid stuff. Anyways, so, and they already do anyways. It's not because I put it on, it's because I get these scammers and I gotta block and delete them anyways. So what happens is people wait for so long that they don't have the money or the funds to come over here, okay, or really to get out of the United States, or to get out of the expensive area that they're living in. They just don't. There's ways around that. I'll tell you some of the ways. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal analyst. I'm not any of those kinds of things. I'm just going to tell you some ways you might want to think about trying to get out of the United States. Obviously, you have to have a passport, okay? Coming over here, let's say you're an engineer in the United States, okay? AI is taking a lot of those jobs. AI has not really come into, I mean, it's here. Obviously, it's here, but it's not the same as it is over in the States, okay? You could come over here and work probably, most likely, I'm not going to say 100%, but most likely you can probably work for an engineering firm over here. But almost 100% people in that engineering office are going to speak English. A lot of them are. It's going to be a broken English. It took me a little while to understand their broken English over here, but I've been coming over here now for so long, it doesn't bother me anymore. So like I said, engineering is one of them. You know, like I said, if you're tired of paying all that money and getting, worried about being laid off, and, all the insurance and the, all the property tax and all that crap, okay? You can come over here and get a job engineering, okay? They can't, there's no, and if you owe student loans for your engineering, any kind, there's no garnishment system over here. Got it? There's no garnishment system over here at all for anything, okay? They don't The United States can tell them to take money out, and they're going to basically just give them the middle finger. They're not going to do it. So there you go. There's one way right there. Okay. The medical field. Okay. I'm going to give you a first example of what, of how they need people over here in the medical field. Okay. Something here a while back happened to my right shoulder. I don't know what it was. An X-ray wasn't going to solve the problem. I needed an MRI. Okay. I didn't want to go all the way into the city to go get an MRI. Not too far from my house, they built a big, beautiful hospital. It's called, I believe it's called the Hun Medical Center. I could be wrong. But I think they named it after the ex-prime minister, Hun Sen. So my wife went over there one day on her moto, and she asked, did they have an MRI machine? She walked into the hospital, went in, and she asked, do you guys have an MRI machine? And the lady said, yeah, we have one. So right on. So it was on a Saturday or Sunday. Took us maybe 15, 20 minutes to get over there. So we hopped in the car, made kind of a little event out of it, drove over to the hospital. Very, like I said, beautiful hospital. Beautiful hospital. People there were very, very nice. They took my ID, my passport, gave me like a hospital card with a QR code on it to where they know who I am and blah, blah, blah. It didn't cost me anything right there. So anyways, went up to go talk to a doctor that spoke English. They wanted to know, did I want there was a few people in the waiting room. Did I want the VIP service? And I said, what do you mean VIP? Well, without an appointment, all these people VIP service, like $20, and you get right in next. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. All right, I'll take the VIP service. So anyways, went inside, talked to a young doctor. He moved my shoulder around, had asked me, did I hurt? And I said, I don't know. It just started hurting one day, and I don't know why. He said, well, maybe an X-ray. I said, I've already had an X-ray. It shows nothing. I need an MRI. And he kind of put his head down a little bit, and he said, well, you can't get an MRI. And I said, well, my wife said that they have an MRI machine. He says, we do. We have a brand new MRI machine. It's brand new. It's never been used. He said, but we don't have anybody that knows how to use it. And I said, what? Say it again? You have a new MRI machine, but you have no one that knows how to use it? And he said, not yet. Maybe if you come back in a few months, maybe we'll have somebody. And I told him, I said, if you let me in there with my camera, man, I'll take some pictures of the brand, the serial number, anything I can, any kind of information I can gather off of it. And I'll look up online, and I'll try to figure it out, and maybe I'll come back and tell you guys what you need to do. And he said, I can't let you in there to do that. And I said, oh, all right, well, if that's the rule, that's the rule. So anyways, obviously the medical field, he spoke very good English. There are some doctors over here that English is so-so. Some doctors out here in the village are more like witch doctors. They chant something and give you some kind of medicine that they say is going to work. I don't know if it works or not. Anyways, but if you get out here in the villages, you're probably not going to find a doctor's office that will have people there speak English. But if you go into the city, or you go to, like I said, Hun Sen Hospital, I believe that's what it's called, those kind of places, I'm sure will hire you, especially from the United States. Okay? I'm sure there's accounting firms. Okay? I see it all the time on job boards over here. They need people to work in IT. Another big one that they look for over here all the time. They look for, they have a couple casinos. They're looking for people to work IT security. Just all different kinds of things. You guys can come over here and work. Okay? But what's going to happen is you guys are going to stay there stuck in that United States, okay, until you can't leave. if you're not going to have the money. Like I said, I've talked to several people, and they waited too long. Now they don't have the money for airline tickets. They don't have the money. One girl, her passport is expired. You have to have at least 6 months left on your passport to come over here. And when you come over here, you have to get a work permit. You have to get a work visa. It's a business visa. I have a business visa, even though I don't have a business. I do teach. And I have a work card, which allows me to work. And like I said, maybe between the two of them, you got to get them once a year. Maybe between the two of them, $700-800. But a lot of companies will pay for that. Okay, they will pay that fee. Now you're going to have to sign a 1-year contract with them to work for them if they're going to pay for that, obviously. And a lot of companies will pay for your airline tickets to go home for 2 weeks a year, back to your homeland, back to the USA if that's where you're from. A lot of these companies really want U.S. citizens to come work for them. But people in the USA right now, man, they won't listen. They don't. Like I said, I have my email in the description box. I seldom get an email. I've had a few people, but they waited too long, and then they want my financial assistance, which I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to give anybody any kind of financial assistance. It's just not going to happen. So they decided that they don't have the money. And I even told one girl she's behind on her rent. I'm not going to use her name, but I know the state that she lives in. Okay, she's behind on her rent. She's behind on all of her bills. She doesn't know what to do. She can't find work. I said, you know what? Do you know how long it takes them to get you out of that apartment you're living in? A long time. Okay? Save all that money up. Okay? Don't pay anything. Don't pay anything other than your food, even your lights. It's going to take them several months before they turn your lights off. Okay? There's all kinds of programs out there. You can drag it on for quite a while. Okay? Now, if you owe payments on a car, especially if it's a newer car, they can find it. They will come get it. So you have to pay the insurance on your car. Okay, you just have to pay it. So, if you guys don't remember, I'm going to remind you again. I'm going to speak it again and again and again. Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum. You will own nothing. Okay, and let me tell you how they're doing it. They're doing it right now, right in front of you guys' eyes. Okay. Who do you think owns these big insurance companies? And when I say owns them, I'm talking about owns a majority of the stock. Okay? When you own the majority of a stock in a company, you basically own the company. Okay? The company might not be in your name, but if you're a majority stockholder in that company, like Warren Buffett with Berkshire Hathaway, I don't know if he still is or not, but he owned that company, but there were other stockholders, but he was the main one. These big hedge firms, these big companies like Blackstone and BlackRock and Vanguard and all the rest of them, they own these insurance companies. They own them. Like I said, their names aren't on the building, but they own them. They own enough stock in those companies that they own them. Okay? They don't have to have insurance when they buy a house. They don't need to. Okay, they can have 1,000 houses burned to the ground, and it's no big thing for them. They have just billions and billions and billions of dollars, and you guys are struggling, man. You're going to keep struggling, and you're going to keep fighting it. Okay, you stay there and you fight it to the end. Okay, you fight it to the end, and then finally, you will run out of resources, you will run out of money, and that's when you're going to be living under a bridge or in a government facility or a homeless camp or whatever it is. Okay? I had a girl, like I said, I was talking to her on Telegram, and she wanted me to send from Cambodia to her, where she lives, $30 damn. And I'm like, damn, girl, you don't even have $30? And she said, I don't have $30. I'm not going to send $30. Okay. It's not a matter of the money. Okay. I would send her the 30. If she lived right across the street, I just walk over and give it to her. But the pain in the butt that I have to go through to the bank to wire transfer money over there, back to the States, I have to wait in the bank for them to approve everything, and it's just, I'm not going to go into the city and wire somebody $30 damn to the United States. She waited until she has $30 left, or she needs $30. Okay? She won't tell me what it's for. Hopefully it's not for drugs, but I don't know, because I'm not there. But they're taking everything from you. Okay? They're taking everything from you. Okay? They're going to take your jobs. Okay? Once you lose your jobs, your savings, your 401k, all that crap's going to evaporate. You're just going to use it up. It's going to be gone. You're not going to be able to replace it. So, like I said, if you guys want to live that kind of life, I can't stop you. Nothing I can do about it. I'm trying to help you. Okay? All these big hedge funds, they want to take your house from you. Okay? They want you to get behind on the mortgage, or behind on your property tax, or behind on you can't pay your insurance, and then they're going to come swoop in and they're going to buy it for hella cheap. Okay? Then they're going to rent it back to you, and then they're going to just put all that money in their pocket. Okay? That's what they're doing. Okay? Like I said, Klaus Schwab, you will own nothing, you will have no privacy, and you will be happy. Well, maybe you will be happy. I'm happy I moved over here. Like I said, living in a third world country, it sucks a lot of times, man. Okay? Believe me, it sucks a lot of times. Okay? But it's still better to live over here than it is in the USA, where my wife and daughter can go out. I don't want them driving around on the roads out here at night, because it's dangerous, because of just, not really, well, I guess it could be thieves, but just cows walking on the road, just all kind of potholes and stuff. But anyways, there's really no violent crime over here. You don't have to worry about carjackings and armed robberies and all that kind of crap. I enjoy that. Okay, like I said, I'm a big guy. I could stand to lose a few pounds, but I ride my bicycle all around here, and I'm not worried at all about it. Okay? Most of the Cambodian people are pretty small, and I'm a pretty big guy, so that's kind of a deterrent right there. But like I said, you guys are drowning. You're going to see on the thumbnail, you guys are drowning in a pool of debt. Okay, you guys are drowning in a pool of debt, and these bankers and these hedge fund people are sitting back laughing at you guys. Literally just laughing away at you guys, because you're losing everything and you refuse to change. You just let them stay there and let them do whatever they want to do, man. And that's what they're doing. Okay? This senseless, stupid war that you know who started. You know who started it. It's not the man you elected. It's another country. You know which one I'm talking about. And they control the United States, and they have for a long time. And I don't know why or how. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I've never taken political science, so I can't tell you. But I do know that is who is controlling this situation over there. It's not us. It's another country. So prices are going to go up. You're going to be paying more for everything. And all I can do is just tell you guys, man, get the hell out of the United States. Okay? My email address, like I said, is in the description box. It doesn't hurt anything to send me an email, ask me some questions. I can find out things. I got connections over here. I can get you whatever you need, visas, work permit, whatever the situation is, okay? Like I said, pick you up at the airport. Obviously, if you got a family, a whole big family, I got an SUV, but I don't know how many people I could put in there. But if it's just a few people, man, I'll come pick you up at the airport. It's not no big thing. It's hour drive or so, 45 minutes, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, but you guys are drowning, and these bankers and these hedge fund people and these politicians and people that are putting all this money in their pocket, they're standing right alongside the pool, and they're just laughing at you. They're watching you drown. They're waiting for you to drown so they can take your house. Okay? They're going to take your house from you. They're going to take your house, and then they're going to take your car, and you're going to be living under a bridge or in some kind of homeless encampment, in a tent or something, okay? And like I said, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I wish I did. I wish I had some kind of magic pill I can give you guys, but you guys are going to lose everything, or most of you will. Not all of you. Some of you that are wealthy enough will survive this, but it's going to be a rough time. But for me, like I said, it doesn't hurt me at all for the prices to come up over here. Okay, it's just maybe like a simple inconvenience, I guess you could say. It's not really that much. I told my wife I was answering somebody's comment about how cheap it was to live over here. And so, okay, just real quick on the comment thing. Somebody left a comment. People are leaving comments, which I appreciate. Even if they're not the best ones, I still want your comments, okay? Whatever they are. Somebody left a comment, asked me what I was running from. Why did I run to camp? And I just answered the question. I was running from the toilet of California, okay? I lived in central California, near Stockton and Modesto and Fresno and all those places. I had a nice place, but anytime you went out, man, it's just zombies walking around over there, man. So if that person is watching, I left him a very nice comment. I told him I just left that toilet called California, man. I got tired of paying all the taxes for all the people that come up there and don't contribute anything. And then, all the people that want to sit around and just smoke weed and play video games, man. I don't have to pay for that over here. You guys do. I don't pay it. So, like I said, anything I can do to help you guys, my email address is in the other thing. Oh, and please hit subscribe if you guys can. If you like the video, hit subscribe, man. My subscribers are coming up. My views are coming up. I appreciate it. I probably should have said that at the start, but I'll wait till the end. Anyways, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. And like I said, Cambodia needs you, and you need Cambodia. Sell everything you own. Come over here, start afresh. Southeast Asia, a lot of beautiful beaches. We're near Bali, Indonesia. We're near Thailand, near Vietnam. A lot of places, man. A lot of places a lot of cool places you guys can go see, man. Right? You don't need no damn Disneyland. Disneyland is so expensive now, man. You can go over here and have so much fun with that kind of money. So, all right, man, I'm going to let you guys go, okay? All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.